This boat went through a hurricane, and part of the tow rail where it was put together, this area right here, broke when another boat hit it.
Alright, so I got to do some steaming on this board right here to make it fit around this radius. So I'm going to build a little steamer, and I'm going to use some plastic bag for it and see how it works. So this gives me a long bag, put the board in, and so now we're going to come over here and we're going to put a steamer on it. For the steamer, I'm going to use the hose and the steamer. It's actually a wallpaper removing steamer. We're not going to remove wallpaper. I actually cheated and I got some water boiling in the house to get it started. So I'm going to bring that out here and dump it in first. It's got a rubber thing in here that messes it up, makes it hard to fill. Okay, I need a funnel. Always have plan B. Plan B is the funnel. Better? Aha! Attach the hose. Attach the hose here. I'm going to go ahead and plug it in so that it can start getting hot. So the next step is to cut a little hole in the plastic and slide this pipe in there and affix it. So as this starts to boil and steam, we'll watch and see if that bag starts to inflate. Started to inflate the bag. Steam's coming out. Right there. Starting to get hot. Starting to inflate the bag. The bag is not working as good as I wanted it to. Probably because the pressure from this steamer wasn't putting out enough volume to inflate the bag really well, so it was kind of flopping over and sticking to the board, and it actually was working pretty good, but the very end of the board was not getting as hot. So what I did was I went and bought a piece of drain pipe, like sewer drain pipe. It has a cap on both ends. It's got a hole right here. You can see the steam, and then on this end I just put a fitting in here, and that runs to the steamer. When I feel the top of this thing, it is so hot I can't hardly touch it. Even all the way down here to the very end where the steam is coming out, I can hardly touch it, and so that's a good sign. That means it's working pretty good. What I found to be helpful on this was that the end opposite of the inlet should be higher. So this end over here where the steam comes in, I have a drip hole down here that you can see dripping water. And if this end is lower than that end, steam rises. So as it goes uphill, it makes it all the way to the end. When I had it the other way and I had this end higher and the drip hole down there, that end wasn't getting as hot because the steam wasn't rising. So I just swapped it, and steam rises towards that side, and it does a better job. It gets hot. So we're going to pull this out of here in just a second and clamp the board to our pattern. So I have some welding gloves. They're going to help protect me against the steam. I'm going to unplug. Then I'm going to go ahead and release the steam pressure. I got to pull the cap off the end. Just going to let that hang right there. And you want to try to operate fast because it cools down pretty quick, and when it cools down it doesn't stretch as well as it should. So gotta start at this end where my clamp is, and I'm going to go ahead, bring this guy in where it needs to go. That end might go out, but it's okay. Okay, that's going to hold there. And then I'm just going to start working it in. Is it hot, Katie?
That's good.
Okay.
It smells really bad. Why does it smell like that?
Huh?
It smells really awful.
So, we're just going to throw on a few of these guys. And when this cools, it should keep its shape. That is it. What we're hoping is that when we pull the clamps off, that it keeps its shape. Shall we see? Got a little bit of a spring back right there. See how close it stays.
Well,
I'd say that's not too bad. Actually pretty darn close. We should be able to get that over on the boat. Not too bad. See, we're pretty darn close.
now we gotta go take it to the boat.
And hopefully it'll fit over there.
Check out our video on fitting the tow rail to our boat. See you next week.